with us in the studio this morning to help us analyze what we have in the papers this morning is Mr. Ifechukwudan Jacobs, a legal practitioner and public affairs analyst. You're welcome.
Thank you, the presenters. Viewers, you are welcome to the program.
All right. We'll start with the stories in ABS website. Obiano Swazin and Nazodo as special advisor legislative matters on this academic. Anambra government targets to expand fisheries, aquaculture sector. MPC embarks on demarcation exercise in Agrata communities. Capital City Secondary School Oka wins NYSC quiz competition. These are the stories making headlines on ABS website, and I think we should start with the very first one. About Obiano swearing in and also honoring the commissioner, the former commissioner.
It's a welcome development. It's good to encourage somebody that worked very well. Akabike for past 5 years as a commissioner for health have tried in that sector, so he deserves to be honored. Then Anazodo is an experienced person in the area of legislation, so I believe that his presence as an advisor there will help to make sure that there's peace between the executive and the legislative.
All right, Anambra government targets to expand fisheries in the aquaculture sector.
That's part of effort the government have been making in the area of agriculture. Because fisheries, one of the aspects of agriculture that is very important to our daily needs. Every home needs at least some quantity of fish to sustain their balanced diet. So it's a welcome development. You should encourage other value chain in that area to make sure that the fishers, those in that area, will not abandon that effort again, because once they produce the down market, the value chain is not there, they'll be discouraged. So we should encourage value chain too.
All right. Capital City Secondary School Oka wins NYSC quiz competition.
And that is testimony of the effort of the government in the area of education, because that shows the quality and the standard so far achieved. So, but there's still room for improvement in our educational sector.
All right, straight up, let's go to the first papers this morning. Daily Sun. Stories making the headlines this morning. The big one there, Headsman Settlement Scheme. Bauchi Gombe ready for Ruga. Well, riders there, Ekiti, Benue, Cross River join Southeast in rejecting project. No state will be coerced into accepting Lalong Northern Governors Forum Chairman. Explore another solution on Nayekon advises federal government. Well, on top of that story, tribunal gives Atiku 10 days to prove case against Buhari. We see that picture there. Of course, what floods was doing. This is a picture of flood takes over school at Alagbado as rain persists in Lagos yesterday. Buhari sacks NHIS Executive Secretary. Nigeria fast losing identity, wants Obasanjo. APC rejigs Senate leadership list, may drop Adamu as Senate leader. Kalu, others retain positions. Rape allegation, Koza pastor bows to pressure, steps down. Well, let's look at the big story, Headsman Settlement Scheme. For a while now, this Ruga story has been gathering momentum. Bauchi Gombe ready for Ruga.
Well, I think that issue of Ruga is a very unfortunate program for now. Concerning the state of the nation, concerning the security state of this country, we are both battling an issue of violence here and there, banditry over northern areas, even other areas. So that issue of Ruga is supposed not to be the major issue now. The security of this nation is supposed to be tackled first, and let there be relative peace before you talk about all this kind of project. And two, they should not force any state to embark on that project. I like what they said. Let them match their words with action.
Yeah, of course, that was coming from Lalong.
Let it not be a political statement. When you are saying this, you mean another thing. So the issue of Ruga should be handled carefully because it's a very sensitive issue. And the federal government have another project demanding attention that will benefit Nigerians. Because this issue of Ruga now is for a sector of people. Farmers, herdsmen. I'm not talking about ethnic issue, but I'm talking about business in that regard. The issue of cattle rearing is a business of private business for people. Government can create an enabling environment for business to thrive, but they should not invest our hard-earned money into private businesses. Nigeria is going over from our debt profile now. We're up over to 27 trillion. And look at the infrastructure status of this country. Very low. And we are talking about investing in private businesses. Because the money you will use to develop a single Ruga settlement will be in billions. Because from the size of the land they're talking about something thousand hectares of land, and the kind of projects they mapped out for Ruga, you discover that it will engulf reasonable sums of an annual budget.
Well, do you also think that's the reason why Obasanjo is saying Nigeria fast losing its identity?
It's part of it, but not. That is not the only thing.
But do you concur with what Obasanjo is saying?
Definitely, if you look at the way things are going in this country presently, you discover that the present administration is not even looking at our laws, is not considering our makeup as a nation. The issue of federal character in appointment is no longer considered. Those that introduce that federal character, they introduce to balance the ethnic nationalism issue of appointment. But in the past cabinet of this administration, like Southeast have no say almost in everything. Look at the service chiefs. Look at the one Ulu-sided. Look at the issue of investment. Railway now, the money invested in railway in the north is in billions of dollars. But that of Port Harcourt, Enugu, nobody has talked about them. Look at the issue of security. We are talking about spending billions of dollars, but we are not achieving much. And there's trouble here and there because nobody is happy.
All right, for some days now, let's say go into a week, there's this rape allegation for Koza pastor, and the paper is saying finally he's bowed down to pressure. And
well, I learned that he took a leave of absence for now, but that is unfortunate development because.
So do you think it's the right thing to do?
That protest, I consider it very wrong on one side and on the other side, because the lady in question said that thing happened 20 years ago, and she endured it up to that moment. Though it's a criminal matter that you can call it up anytime, but she's mother of three, from what I learned, and the celebrity for that matter.
Oh, wow.
And the issue of Christianity, and you don't know, that man might have reconciled with God.
I keep saying
he might have reconciled with, so even if he had such issue with her before,
I even keep saying that
he might have reconciled with God.
There's more to the story, you know. I feel it's not all that there is. So let's just allow it.
All right, let's move on to the newspaper, the Daily Times. Big story there. No one is imposing Ruga settlement in any state. Lalong says Ruga settlement is ranching. World Bank, AFDB supporting it. Lawan False Public Procurement Act says it's a conduct pipe for corruption. promises holistic review of acts by 9th National Assembly. Down there, you see the picture there when the rain can Lagosians wading through the flood as a result of the heavy downpour. You see people trying to drag out a bike. Then presidential poll, Atiku opens case Friday to call 400 witnesses. Court orders final for feature of 9.2 billion naira and $8.4 million linked to Jonathan's wife. A not obstructing EFCC probe, Seriki replies anti-graft agency. Absence of bond reports calls 2.5 billion naira digital switch over trial. Let's look at this story. The One False Public Procurement Act saying it's a conduct hack.
Anyway, he knows why he's saying so. I think he has been in National Assembly for up to 12 years now. He was there when the law was debated and when the bill was debated and passed into law. He did not raise or canvass against it. But now that he's the president of Senate, well, let's see if there is anything wrong in that Procurement Act. Let him plug it through amendment.
And
the way we will welcome it.
The PDP is telling National Assembly to also probe Buhari for treasury looting and insecurity in the country. Telling the National Assembly to do so is just waste of time, because APC government is a majority in the National Assembly, and whatever the presidency is doing, they are in support.
Okay, let's quickly
so they're probing him now. I don't know the basis for doing that, for that probe.
Let's quickly look at this picture here. It's not, that's a picture of flood in Lagos. You can see the two bike men trying to pull their bike away from the rain. And the other picture, the lady almost drowning in that water.
It's unfortunate that we're having that kind of ecological issue now. But Lagos case is a peculiar case in the sense that most of the land in Lagos was reclaimed. And the drainage system there is not all that well designed because of the nature, topography of the area. Do you get the point? So where we should be expecting such occurrence in Lagos State, because those water, those channels you block, or those areas, those water flows into you reclaimed, the water will be surging back into yes.
All right, let's look at this story concerning Jonathan's wife. That's the wife of the former president of Nigeria. Now, court is ordering the final forfeiture of the money that is linked to her, about 9.2 billion naira and $8.4 million.
Well, if she obtained that money through corrupt means, and the court found her, indicted her, the law should take it due course. We are not encouraging corruption in any way. Nobody will encourage corruption or looting of public funds.
I don't even have an issue with recovering, or if probably she found guilty. I don't have an issue of recovering the money back. Where I have a problem is those recovering the money back, are they not more corrupt? Because at the end of the day, we don't get to see what this money that we recovered is used to.
That will be the duty of Nigerians. During the next election, Nigeria should wake up. If the money recovered is not invested back into the economy, they should do everything possible to bring a positive change through their ballot papers. By the time you have a new government, they will probe them too.
So we keep on
yes, of course. It will not end. The issue of corruption is a continuous fight until we change our mindset, we change our value system. If we continue to lay more emphasis on the kind of money you have, irrespective of where you got it, we will never get to where we're going. We should encourage people to be honest.
Okay.
We should reward honesty anywhere we found it. Encourage people to work hard in their living legitimately, and discourage illicit fund. The issue of security now, like EFCC. EFCC is not doing enough. They are chasing politicians around. But EFCC is supposed to look into microeconomic check. Like businessmen that are engaging in illicit activities to make money. EFCC should invite, if somebody suddenly become a billionaire, maybe a civil servant, you find out you have properties all over. You should invite him, let me explain him or her explain, isn't it? If a businessman suddenly got rich, you know that he's becoming a role model in the society. And if you don't check his activities, these younger ones will try to find out how he got his money.
All right, let's quickly move
and they will
on.
like
Let's quickly move on. The next paper, the Punch newspaper. A big story, still talking about Ruga settlement. Southeast governors autumn tackle FG. Fayemi says no outsider can take Ekiti land. Well, with writers there, if there are negative comments being peddled around that, some people are coming to take over Ekiti land. They are mere hearsay. It cannot happen in Ekiti, except I am no longer the governor. That's coming from Ekiti governor. Well, on top of that story, federal government pays 135 billion naira PE debt to states. Mismanagement of diversity stagnating Nigeria. It's coming from former President Obasanjo. Buhari sacks controversial NHIS boss. Well, scores feared dead as tanker explodes in Benue. You get that on page 4 of the Punch. 6 more bodies recovered in Lagos boat accident. Makinde sets up panel to probe local governments under Ajimobi. Court orders for future of patient Jonathan 9.2 billion naira and $8.4 million. Alleged rape. Koza pastor Fatunyibo takes leave of absence. Gunmen kill DPO, pregnant corp, 5 others in Bayelsa, Rivers. Atiku to call 400 witnesses as lawyers propose Thursday for trial. Well, I don't know which of the stories should we take. Let's quickly look at Atiku to call 400 witnesses as lawyers propose Thursday.
Well, you know that that issue or that presidential tribunal have been delayed unnecessarily through the issue of former chairman, the president of Court of Appeal, delayed to step aside. Well, they have to do everything possible to make sure that they do not exceed the constitutional timetable, because they have within 180 days to do the whole thing. So I'm sure that's why they're talking about taking 400 witnesses within 10 days. It's not an easy task. It's a very difficult thing, but let's see how far they will go.
All right, let's also, of course, we're still talking about Ruga, and Ekiti has actually come out to say, hey, nobody is here saying.
Well, I love it. Ekiti is under APC.
You know, when
it's under APC, Fayemi.
When I saw that,
that shows he's a man of independent mind.
Okay.
Because I think he's the current chairman, APC, progressive governor. And for him to have made this statement,
Have the boldness to
come and say the issue. I will encourage other people that don't like that project to speak out. Nigerians should speak out. We should not die in silence.
All right, then let's move over to the last paper. That's the Guardian newspaper. Big story. More states group reject Riga settlement for headers. We won't see Ekiti land to outsiders farming vows. No plan for it in southeast and south. Benue claim of deserted land in 36 states. Buhari backs government to list of pilot state relief. All right, up there we see PDP wants Buhari probe over alleged rising drugs insecurity. NFF boss Amaju 4 others get bench warrants. Eagles do no outcome ground to sustain opponents today. Labour may resume strike over minimum wage. Government DPO, President for 2 others in Bayelsa police station. Drivers burned to death as fuel tanker explodes in Benue State. court orders for future operations with 7.5 billion and $8.5 million. All right, let's look at the story. Labor may resume strike over.
I think is the federal government, from their attitude, they are taking Nigerian labor for granted. By now, this issue of minimum wage is supposed to be a past tense, because a law has been passed. The bill has been passed and signed into law. Why can't you bring out the template for implementation? And let's see what the whole thing will be about. And you know that when the federal government now release the template on what to see, you will now, the state will come down there again to negotiate with the state labor congress, because they have to domesticate those laws in states. This is a federal system of government. Do you get the point I'm making? So, from what we are seeing over this issue of minimum wage, if care is not taken this year, that issue will not be resolved. So, labor should know what to do to get what is due to them. So,
basically, you're in support of them going for strike if need be?
If need be, let them go, because nobody will like that kind of playing them around. It's not proper.
All right, let's quickly just go to something light. Super Eagles to know their AFCON round of 16 opponent today. You're not expecting that much against Madagascar?
I think it's a big lesson. I love what happened against them, because complacency set in when they won their first two matches. They thought that Madagascar will be a walkover, but they shocked them with 2-0. That 2-0 defeat, we made them to sit up, and we make even our players to fight.
I think that the coach, the Madagascar coach, said they are going to score 2-0 against Nigeria.
And
that's been prophetic, which is good. But I know you're a very, you're a patriotic Nigerian.
Of course, thank God that they qualified. But no, definitely issue of that nature.
He said he liked what
my father, I stopped him. I stopped him from watching Nigeria.
It's a very big lesson to those coaching crew of Super Eagles and the players as well, so that they will sit up. They will not take any team for granted again.
All right, let's finally look at this story. It's been making rounds in other papers. Government KBPO pregnant couple and 2 others in Bayelsa.
It's unfortunate. The kind of insecurity we have in this country is worrisome. The government should review the security architecture of this country. The leadership of this security outreach should be looked into. When you are not getting the right under particular leadership, you should change the leadership and know whether we have a positive change. We should not continue to talk of one thing over and over again. And the security is the most paramount issue in any governance, the primary responsibility of any government.
All right.
And we are not having it right here.
Okay, let me just quickly read a WhatsApp message that just came in. This one is from Uche from Waka. This man is the best reviewer I've seen on this program. He's simply articulate. Please say kudos to him. We're saying kudos to you.
Thank you.
Uche is working, and he just sent a WhatsApp message from Oka. Well, this is what we have on newspaper review this morning, and of course, Adima.
Yes, just the press review right here, but we are coming back because we have all that issues that we're going to discuss with you. Don't go anywhere.
And of course, we have to thank...
thank Mr. H.P. Jacobs for being here today. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, the presenter. Yes, thank you for giving us your time.
All right. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.